Hi everybody, it's Susan Proper. Thanks for joining me tonight for the gift of stillness. So we turned the clocks back last weekend and I don't think I'm still adjusted to that time change. I'm getting up early in the morning and it feels like I've slept too long, and anyway, I'm not really one of these people that likes this getting dark at 5 o'clock at night. I wish it were. I wish we didn't change the clocks. I wish it just stayed regular, whatever, not daylight savings time. I don't like it getting dark early. But anyway, it's already dark here in Florida, and it's 6 o'clock. So yeah, not quite getting used to that yet. Hi Julie. Hi Rhonda. Thanks for being here. So the last few weeks we've been talking about facing fears and finding courage and self-compassion. And it's all kind of like a big snowball. And a lot of it really comes from, hi Kim, a lot of it comes from, believe it or not, a deep down desire for perfectionism. We want to be perfect. We don't want to make mistakes. We don't want to embarrass ourselves. We don't want to be judged. We don't want to be ashamed. And a lot of those things, whether you feel those things from childhood, whether those things get instilled in you from childhood, or whether those things begin to develop as you are a teenager and become an adult, a lot of those things eventually lead to this feeling of, I can't make a mistake, I need to be perfect, everything's going to be just right, I'm not good enough, it's just like a big snowball, a big domino thing. And what happens when you have all that building up inside of you is that you tend to become a procrastinator. Not everybody, but a lot of people. When you become a perfectionist, or somebody who is holding all of that inside of you, it holds you back in one way or another. It holds you back from your dreams, your goals, and living your life freely in the way you really want to. And for a lot of people, it becomes, number one, perfectionism, and then that ultimately leads to procrastination because you are afraid to make mistakes. You are afraid to make the wrong decision. And so you never start. You never start to do whatever it is that you really want to do. And so you can never accomplish those goals or those dreams or whatever, because you're just living in fear of doing the wrong thing or making a mistake. So that's what I'm focusing kind of our practice on tonight, is trying to release perfectionism, which ultimately causes procrastination. And I know that that's been something that has held me back in my life in many ways, and caused me to have that sort of, I'm not good enough, I'm an imposter, deep down inside kind of feelings. And it hasn't really been until probably the last 4 or 5 years of my life, hi Shanae, the last 4 or 5 years of my life where I have said, hell, I got to get over that. That's just crazy. Because, you know, life waits for no one. Time waits for no one. And I'm getting old. You know, and what am I waiting for? What is it that makes me procrastinate? What is it that makes me feel I've got to be perfect? Hell, nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. We all fumble. We all fail at something. We all have things that we're not good at, or things that you know, we're embarrassed about, or whatever. But you know what? So is everybody else. There's nobody out there, and I don't care what you see on Instagram, I don't care what you see on Facebook, I don't care what you see on social media. There is nobody out there that is perfect and doing everything absolutely right. And the more we learn to realize that we just have to be our authentic self, our true self, and you know, maybe not everybody's gonna like it, and maybe not everybody is going to understand it, and you know, maybe some people are gonna laugh at you or question you, or you know, wonder what in the heck is she doing. The minute you just say, who cares? Who cares? Who cares? You have to live your life for you. You don't have to live your life for me. Hey, Susan, you don't have to live your life for your spouse. You don't have to live your life for your neighbors, your children. Okay, yes, you have to take care of your children. You have to love your spouse. You have to be there for these people. But your life and your goals are yours and yours alone. And until you become truly authentic and believe in yourself and stop thinking that you have to be perfect, you will never be free to follow your dreams and your goals, because you will just never take that step. Your fears will hold you back, and your fears will make you procrastinate. So that's what I'm focusing on tonight, is letting go of perfectionism and stop procrastinating. Find your true authentic self, and who cares if your neighbors don't like it, or if the lady at the grocery store doesn't like it, or if I don't like it. Who cares? Be yourself. Hi, Jody. Be yourself. Just be yourself. Be authentic and be yourself. That's the most important thing that you can do for the rest of your life. So we talked about being self-compassionate. It's very hard to be self-compassionate sometimes. It's so easy to be compassionate for other people. You have to remember to be, hi Gina, you have to remember to be equally compassionate for yourself. Unless you are, you will never, ever step forward from that, I'm not good enough. People don't think I can do this. People are going to laugh. You just have to move beyond that. You have to just get rid of that whole perfectionism idea and stop procrastinating and move forward. I'd like to read a quote to you from Brené Brown that has to do with my focus tonight, which, as you can tell, is perfectionism and procrastination. The two go hand in hand. If you are a perfectionist, you are a procrastinator, and you will never let go of those fears that are holding you back. So Brené Brown has this beautiful quote: perfectionism is a self-destructive and addictive belief system that fuels this primary thought. If I look perfect and I do everything perfectly, I can avoid or minimize the painful feelings of shame, judgment, and blame. But those feelings shouldn't be there in the first place. Because nobody is perfect. Nobody. Again, not those people that you're seeing on social media with the perfect bodies and the perfect yoga poses. Nobody. Nobody. So just remember to be you. You are good enough. You are authentic. And it doesn't matter if some people think, oh, she's weird. So what? It's great to be weird. I'm weird. You just have to be authentic. Be authentic. Let yourself be okay with not being perfect. Stop procrastinating. You will procrastinate as long as you try to be perfect. You need to move beyond that. Let that fear go and start to live your authentic self. And once you do that, then you can follow your goals and your dreams, whatever they may be. And we've talked about that before. Heck, starting a business, going solo cross country, traveling the world, doing whatever it is that has been a dream for you, getting rid of a crappy job, whatever it is. You can't wait for the perfect moment. You can't wait for the perfect, body. You can't wait for the perfect anything. You just have to stop procrastinating and step out and get rid of the fear and become your true self. All right. So I created a crystal grid for us tonight to help with getting rid of procrastination. So again, I can't really show it to you because it's here on the floor, but I'll show it to you here, and I will post it in the group later on after the class tonight. So this is the grid, and I set the intention for this to help our group with getting rid of procrastination and moving beyond perfectionism. Okay? So the center stone, the focus stone, is a big carnelian. And then around that, I have imperial topaz, red tiger's eye, clear quartz, and then some quartz points also, some more carnelian, and red jasper. So again, I'll keep this up until we meet again in 2 weeks. But here, this will stay for those 2 weeks with the intention of helping us beyond procrastination and moving beyond perfectionism. Those two go hand in hand. And if you have any questions, you can always just message me and I can share some more information with you about the grid. And then the oils that you can also use to help with getting rid of procrastination and helping you with motivation are peppermint, rosemary, blue spruce, and grapefruit. I left my grapefruit downstairs. They make a wonderful blend too for your diffuser. And also you can make a nice roller blend with them. If you have like a little 15 millimeter roller bottle, glass bottle, use a glass bottle. Use 7 drops of grapefruit, 5 drops of peppermint, 3 drops of the blue spruce, and 3 drops of the rosemary, and then just fill the rest of the little 15 milliliter bottle with your carrier oil, whatever the carrier oil is of your preference. You can use avocado oil, almond oil, whatever oil you like to use. And then when you cap it with the roller and then your cover, turn the bottle over and roll it in your palms like that to blend it and mix it. Don't shake it. Just blend it like that. Okay? And that makes a really nice blend to help you with motivation and getting rid of procrastination, our favorite P word tonight. Okay. There's also a Young Living blend. I don't happen to have it. I think I might get it on my next order. It's called Motivation. I'm not sure what's all in the blend, but I think I might try that one. All right. So our yin practice tonight also focuses on procrastination and motivation and movement within the body, and that is the solar plexus chakra. So our yin practice will focus on all of that, and I think we're ready to move into that. You will need at least 2 pillows and maybe a block if you have it. If not, we'll see what we can do with the pillows. If you have a bolster, that's great. So I'm going to move back to my, see all who's here. Diana, hi. We're going to move back to our mats right now and get started with our yin practice. I think actually I'll start with a little bit of breath work to just get our nervous system kind of relaxed and chilled, and then we'll move into some yin. All right? And for anybody who's not familiar with yin, but I think all of you that at least have said hello to me tonight have done yin before. But I'll give everybody a reminder. So yin yoga, as opposed to yang yoga, is a slower paced and more meditative practice. We hold our poses longer. The poses typically are on the mat, and rather than yang yoga, which is working the muscles and is more movement and almost dance-like, yin yoga is working the deep tissues. We are working the tendons, the ligaments, the fascia, the joints. And that's why we have to hold the poses for a longer period in order to get down into those deep tissues. So we'll typically be in a pose for anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. And the object is for you to find a place in the pose where you are able to hold that pose, feeling sensation, but not overdoing it for the length of the pose. So for 3 to 5 minutes. So you do want to feel sensation. This is not restorative yoga. But you don't want to overdo it. You don't want any pain. You don't want any zinging. You don't want any kind of like electrical things going on in your body where you're uncomfortable to the point where you cannot hold the pose. If that happens, then come out of the pose. And you try to remain relatively still while you are in the pose. And you try to make sure that things like your jaw is relaxed, you're not scrunching your facial muscles, your toes are relaxed, your fingers are relaxed. You're concentrating on deep tissue here. All right? So come to easy seat. So basically you have your legs sort of crossed. Your spine is relatively straight. Shoulders are relaxed. You can have your hands on your thighs or on your knees, whatever's comfortable for you. And we're just going to take a few nice deep breaths in through the nose to a count of 4. We're going to hold it for a count of 4. And then we're going to exhale to a count of 5. We're going to do that for a few times at your own pace. I'll let you know when you can stop. All right, so inhale to a count of 4. Hold it for 4. And exhale to 5. And now just do that at your own pace. Complete one more cycle. And then just breathe normally. Good. All right, so we'll start off tonight in butterfly. And if you have a pillow or a bolster, let's use those. We're going to be in reclined butterfly. If you have 2 pillows, you may want to use 2 pillows. Bring one to the edge of your sacrum. And see how I have them sort of kind of one on top of the other here. So you have the soles of your feet together. How close you bring them to your groin area is really up to how well you're able to hold that pose, again, for the 3 to 5 minutes. You may want to use blocks if you have them under your knees if you feel your knees need support, or you can use a blanket, or if you have other pillows, you can put pillows there if that makes it more comfortable for you. But you're going to come down using your elbows. We're just going to be here for 3 minutes. And make sure that your head is supported. It's a nice chest opener, inner thigh. Now use your hands to slowly bring your legs together. Feet flat on the floor, your knees are still bent. And just straighten your legs. And just rest for a moment. You can leave the pillows where they are for now. Roll to your side and just bring yourself up a little bit. We're going to move into fish right now. And fish actually works best if you do have blocks or a bolster. It's not quite the same with pillows, but I will show you just in case you don't have a block or bolster. So if you have pillows, I would probably see how it works with these two. Put them both, I'm gonna move down a little bit on the mat. Put them both on top of each other. Then you can come down on your elbows again. Your legs are straight. And then you're going to drop your head back. Now, if you have a bolster, it would be a little bit different. Because the bolster would come down longer. So I'm going to switch just in case there is anybody that has a bolster. I'm going to put it aside. Okay. So this is a great back bend. Also opens up your throat chakra. This can also be done with a block. carefully bring yourself back up on your elbows. Push your pillows or your bolster away. And then come back down on your back. And just rest. Slowly bring yourself up to seated. From here, we're going to move into child's pose. So you'll come to all fours and then bring your knees mat width apart. You'll have your toes touching in the back. You sit on your heels. Now here, you can use a bolster, you can use a pillow. We're going to be here for about 4 minutes. So if you want to have a pillow here and rest on the pillow, you don't have to. You can just come forward if you like. If this is difficult for your knees, you can put a blanket under your knees, or if you need some support back here, you can put a blanket there. You can also put a blanket underneath the feet if that helps with giving you more comfort on your mat. Basically, you're going to come down. Again, some people like a pillow or a bolster here. If you have your head turned one way, about halfway through the pose, I'll ask you to move your head in the opposite direction. So you're just going to bring yourself forward. This is a great spinal stretch. You may feel this also in your thighs. You may feel it in your quads. Everybody's body is different, so you may feel things differently. If you have your head turned to the side, we're about halfway now. You can turn it in the opposite direction. Gently push yourself up so you're just about on all fours. And if you're using a bolster or a pillow, just kind of push that away and then come down on your belly and lay on your mat and just rest. You can rest on your arms or have your arms down by your side, whatever feels right. Slowly bring yourself up, and now we're going to move into supported bridge. So again, we'll need a pillow or a block or a bolster. I prefer a block for this. I just feel it gives better support. But if you don't happen to have one, and again, I always suggest you check out TJ Maxx or Kohl's or someplace and pick yourself up a couple blocks. Amazon has them for really cheap also, as well as bolsters. They're not terribly expensive. But I will show you how to use a pillow if you don't have one, a block or a bolster. So you're gonna sit up and your legs for now are gonna be straight. Your pillow will come to your sacrum. Then you're going to use your elbows to bring yourself down. Knees bend, feet flat on the floor. Then I want you to bring that pillow just slightly down a little bit further so that it's a little bit under the sacrum. Now with a pillow, this is not much of a supported bridge. You could use 2 pillows actually to get a better supported bridge if you had 2 pillows. Coming up to show you the difference with a block. So with a block, I'm gonna do it a little differently because this is hard. So I'm gonna come down again. My knees are bent, feet flat on the floor. Now I'm gonna lift my sacrum. And we're gonna put that just underneath the sacrum. See, I have a much better lift here now, much better support. And if you're using a bolster, you would use the bolster sideways and put the bolster in that same area. And you get a nice support with the bolster also. So we're going to be here, whether you're using your pillows or a block, we're going to be here for about 3 minutes. Your legs are parallel, feet flat on the floor. You don't want your knees out wide, and you don't want them knocking either. Your chin is to your chest. All right, now what I'd like you to do is just stay with the block or bolster underneath your sacrum, and then just bring the right leg up and then the left leg up. So we're in legs up the wall. Your chin is still to your chest. You don't have to flex your feet. We'll be here for 3 minutes. This is a great pose to do. If you're having trouble sleeping, this is also good for if you've just come off a plane and you're traveling and you're trying to get your the swelling out of your feet. Also for blood pressure, this is a very good pose if you have high blood pressure. All right, bring the right leg down, keeping the knee bent, foot flat on the floor. Left leg, same thing. And then lift your sacrum and bring the bolster or the block or the pillow out from underneath. And then just gently windshield wiper your legs. From side to side. And then bring them back to center. And then just stay in the center for a moment in passive rest. bring your right leg long. Go post your arms. And then bring your left leg bent, keeping your left leg bent. Bring it over towards the floor for a spinal twist. Try to keep both shoulders on the floor. You may feel it in the left shoulder, the left chest area. Turn your chin to the left. Bring the left leg back to center. Stretch both legs long. Now bend the right leg. Keep the left leg long. Arms are still goal posted. And now we're going to bring that right leg over towards the left. Keep the shoulders on the floor. Chin toward the right. Bring your right leg back over and stretch it long. Bring your arms down to your side and just rest. Bring your knees bend your knees, feet flat on the floor. Lift your sacrum just a little bit and then bring it back down to the mat. The last pose before we head into Shavasana will be Happy Baby. So you're going to lift your feet towards the ceiling. Grab onto the bottoms of your feet if you can, or your ankles, your shins, wherever you can. And then pull your knees towards your armpits. Chin is towards your chest. Gently rock your sacrum a little bit from side to side. Just massaging a little bit. Massaging the spine, massaging the sacrum. Then bring the soles of your feet together, keeping the knees bent. And then drop your legs to the mat. You're in bound angle right now. Or yin butterfly. And then stretch your legs long and find your shavasana. Your feet are about 18 to 20 inches apart. Your legs are just comfortable and relaxed. Your arms are away from your sides, palms up. Your eyes are closed. Just feel your breath. Your belly rising and falling with each breath. Notice your body, if there's any energy flowing, if there's any tingling or sensations in your body. Begin to bring yourself back to the awareness of where you are. Begin to feel movement in your fingers and your toes. Feel the weight of your body on your mat. Take a stretch. Bring your arms over your head. Stretch your legs and point your toes. And if it feels right, hug your legs into your chest and maybe rock a little bit. And then roll yourself onto your side. And then just rest for a moment. And while you're resting, remember that your authentic true self, are all you need to be. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be you. And you are good enough. And you are exactly who you should be. Be kind to yourself. Just as you would be kind to others. Gently bring yourself up to a seated position with your eyes softly closed. And bring your hands to your heart. I'm going to read that quote again from Brene Brown. Perfectionism is a self-destructive and addictive belief system that fuels this primary thought. If I look perfect and do everything perfectly, I can avoid or minimize the painful feelings of shame, judgment, and blame. But you know, Perfectionism is the very thing that holds you back from your dreams. It keeps you frozen. It keeps you from doing all that you really want to do, because it keeps you from moving forward. You procrastinate. You leave things to the very end, and then everything goes crazy and you're running to meet deadlines. And then there's stress and anxiety. Be authentic. Be the real you. And the tribe that's meant for you will find you. And you'll find them. I wish you peace. I wish you joy. Namaste. So thank you everybody for being here tonight. I'm sorry if I didn't get to read all your comments. Hi Odette. And hey Barb. And Dawn. I'm sorry I didn't get to read everybody's comments. I just want to mention one thing. I am listening to a book right now called The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. And if you are into reading books or listening to books, I highly recommend it. It's a wonderful book on, yeah, it's a little yoga based, I must admit, but it's a wonderful book on changing your life and living your life in a great way. I highly recommend it. So anyway, thank you all for being here tonight. Remember to message me if you have any questions about the crystal grid or about the essential oils, if you need that recipe again for the roller blend or the diffuser blend. And I'll be back in 2 weeks, and I'll be posting in the group. Let me know if you need anything and if you have any questions on anything. I'm so glad to see you all here tonight. Great to see you. Thanks. Bye, everybody.